Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Friday night hoops in Nassau County. It's a Catholic League showdown. From Hicksville, New York, the St. Mary's Gales take on the Holy Trinity Titans on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Catholic Health. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm John Perez. Tonight is not just a special night because it features a local rivalry, but because Holy Trinity is enshrining one of its legends. This evening, Matt Doherty's number 30 is being retired by the Holy Trinity Athletic Department. And you can see the current Titans wearing that 30, honoring their legend. Doherty, an East Meadow native, was a 4-year member of the Titans and led Holy Trinity to a state championship, beating Adelaide Stevenson in the winter of 1980. Went on to play 4 years under Dean Smith at the University of North Carolina, helping lead the Tar Heels to the 1982 National Championship. He was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 6th round of the NBA draft, but went into coaching and became an assistant under Bob McKillop, of course, the legendary Holy Trinity former coach himself at Davidson, and then was an assistant under Roy Williams at Kansas before becoming the head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in 1999-2000 season. It was after 2000 when Doherty returned to Tobacco Road to be the head coach of the Tar Heels, where he was the head man for a few seasons. And coaching stops afterwards at Florida Atlantic and SMU. The decorated career. Currently living in North Carolina, the East Meadow native is coming home for a night he nor the school will ever forget. It should be a fun ceremony, and as we get ready to go here at Holy Trinity, St. Mary's comes in out of Manhasset, of course the local school, and Holy Trinity, and this place has been buzzing since the beginning of the evening when they let the doors in. Starting to turn people away at the door as well. A good crowd piling in on hand here, as there you see the players honoring Doherty one more time as his number 30 will go off the rafters. There you see Doherty, a lot of handshakes, a lot of pats on the back saying congratulations, and had the opportunity to speak to head coach Joe Conifrey at Holy Trinity, and he said he still speaks to the team every now and then. And said that he'll speak to the team before the game tonight, and when he was told that his number would be retired, that he was so jazzed up and so excited, of course, living in North Carolina now, making the trip up and being immortalized here at Holy Trinity High School. There you see fellow family members and friends. Looks like we're going to be set to go for the ceremony. Pass it over to Athletic Director Chris Hardart and Principal Joe Grillo. championship, coaching 2 Power 5 conference teams, playing in the old Big East and, of course, in the ACC with the staple North Carolina Tar Heels, of course, one of the biggest brands, not just in college sports, but in the entire country, that he still looks back with fondness of his high school days and playing in nearby East Meadow, playing in the park, and playing pickup in the park as well. And there you see some shots from his career. Of course, that's the famous shot that Dean Smith and the rest of the team will never forget, as Michael Jordan with that baseline jumper. But who's that wearing number 44 in white at the free throw line? That's Doherty. And one of the stories that Doherty has said that when he became the head coach at North Carolina, he had that picture framed right in front of the basketball office and would show it off to recruits and say, hey, I know Michael Jordan. I know what that work ethic was like, and I can help you get there. As Doherty leading UNC and helping lead UNC to a championship in 1982 over the Georgetown Hoyas. So Holy Trinity heading to their bench. Ceremony should get going momentarily. There's the athletic director, Chris Hardart. Joe Grillo is the principal for Holy Trinity. We like to thank them, too, for accommodating the Varsity Media Sports Network. Should be a fun ceremony and, of course, a reflective ceremony, as they always are, as Doherty becomes the present Titans. There's Matt DeFalco in the middle, wearing number 30. And we will hand it over to Principal Joe Grillo.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Holy Trinity High School. It's wonderful to see so many folks here tonight as we take a few moments to recognize Matt Doherty, a member of the class of 1980. My name is Jim Grillo, and I'm very blessed to serve as the principal here of Holy Trinity. This is my 3rd year at Holy Trinity, and as I mentioned to Matt's family and some of his teammates that have joined us earlier this evening, one of the greatest things about being part of Holy Trinity is seeing the way that so many folks have been impacted by their time at Holy Trinity, and how so many folks consider being a Titan to be one of life's greatest blessings. And so it's so wonderful to know that there are so many people that are still impacted by this school the way we are still impacting our current students. So at this time, we'd like to invite the man of the hour, Matt Doherty, to come down. Joining Matt, his lovely wife, Kelly, his son, Tucker, and his daughter, Heather. And it is my pleasure to introduce our Director of Athletics, Chris Hardart.
Thank you, Jim. Wow, it's so great to see so many people alone back here tonight. The energy in the room is great. So we are so proud of our boys basketball tradition here at Holy Trinity High School. Thousands of young men have worn the green and white proudly as Titans and competed at the highest levels on Long Island and in New York State. As hard as it is to put one person above them all, we celebrate one individual tonight who will be the first player in our school's history to have his basketball uniform retired. His career here at Holy Trinity is legendary on Long Island. I have heard all the stories about the games in this very gym during his era, where if you were not in the gym by halftime at a JV game, you were at risk of being turned away at the door. During his 40-year career, the Titans won 3 NSCHSA championships, 2 Catholic State championships, and a New York State Federation championship in 1980. Matt was recognized as a McDonald's All-American in his senior year and is the all-time leading scorer in Holy Trinity history. Matt went on to earn a scholarship to the University of North Carolina and won a national championship in 1982 alongside future NBA stars James Worthy, Sam Perkins, and Michael Jordan. His post-playing career has been equally impressive as one of the finest college coaches in the country. Starting his career as an assistant for former Titans coach Bob McKillop at Davidson, then as an assistant at the University of Kansas. Matt then was named the head coach at the University of Notre Dame, his alma mater North Carolina, SMU, and Florida Atlantic University. During that championship season in 1980, Matt Doherty proudly wore number 30 on this very court as he led our team to battle week in and week out. As a school community, we would like to say thank you to Matt for helping set a standard of excellence that all of our basketball players and coaches have followed through the years and will continue, I promise you, years ahead. We are proud to announce that the number 30 will never be worn by another Titan basketball player. Congratulations to a true Titan, forever number 30, Mr. Matt Doherty. And now Coach Godfrey and Matt will do the honors. Thank you very much. It's truly an honor. As a young boy, my sister, Nan, Malcolm Caesar, who I think is the best player ever to play at Holy Trinity High School. See Bob McKillop on the sidelines, the energy in the gym, that all came rushing back to me as I walked into this dimly lit gym. It's a home court advantage. Don't fool yourself. And I see guys like Bobby Bryce, Danny Dolan, the fans, only a couple people missing here, my parents, because they have been part of this community. And it is a community. I talk now a lot about, in my profession, about culture. And the culture of Holy Trinity attracted me as a young boy and helped me grow into a man. And I think back to these games and the lessons I learned on this court, not only in the games but in practice, and in those halls with teachers like Sister John Rose. I got a 98 on my Regents. Yeah, it's a true story. Talk about impact. Like your life's impacted young men by three things. The people you meet, the books you read, and the trauma in your life. Okay? The people you meet in this Trinity community, the books you read in these classrooms. And I hope you don't have much trauma in your life, but you will have trauma. And those things make an impact in your life. But Sister John Rose, take the Regents, it's like freaking June. I'm home, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Phone rings. Now, the extension cord across the
across the kitchen table. I answer the phone. First thing out of her mouth, Doherty, you idiot. Oh, I knew I did well. I forgot to check a radical. So I got an 88. Sister Johanna in 1977. She said to us, you need to study Spanish, Espanol, because before too long, over 50% of the country will be Spanish speaking. Talk about wisdom. Talk about knowledge. And probably the most effective class I took was Sister Mary typewriter. Right? On your home rows. Right, Douglas? But at the end of the day, it comes down to relationships. And I see my friends, my classmates that are back. And it's a blessing. I dreamed as a young boy to play on this court. I played on this court. I dreamed to cut down nets, we cut down nets. I dreamed about playing college basketball, I played college basketball. And people would say, what was it like to play like that Duke-Carolina rivalry thing? What was that like? Like, are you ready for this? And I'm like, am I ready for this? Agnes Trinity. Agnes Trinity. It didn't get any more intense than Agnes Trinity. By the way, we kicked their ass my last game. The coaches, Dick Zeitler, Bob McKillop, prepared me. And the lessons that you learn in basketball, the winning, the losing, taking instruction, setting goals, they translate. They translate. I just want to thank you, thank my family. It's really a great opportunity for us to come back to New York and see the Holy Trinity community. Once a Titan, always a Titan. Thank you very much.
When we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit? Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules sports advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
This is Ian Jackson from Connor Hayes, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Jackson! The one-handed flush!
Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Holy Trinity. I'm here with the man of the hour, the week, the day, Matt Doherty, becoming the first player in Holy Trinity basketball history to have his number retired. And Matt, I can't imagine what you're feeling right now.
Well, you know, it's something you dream about, right, as a kid, playing sports, hitting the game-winning shot, getting your jersey retired, things like that. And for it to actually happen when Joe Conifrey and I pulled the string and saw that thing unfold, you know, it choked me up a little bit. But I have to tell you that I think the best player to ever play at Holy Trinity is a guy named Malcolm Caesar, who finished like in 76, something like that. And he went on to play at Florida, played in the NBA, and was one of my favorite players growing up. That got me very excited about basketball here at Holy Trinity.
It's hard to believe it's been so long since you've graduated, and I'm sure so many things have changed, but so many have stood the same, including this dimly lit gym. When you came back onto campus today, what memories swirled through your mind?
Oh, there's so many memories. I came in the back door, and the lockers are so thin, and we walked by the library. Sister Celine used to be in the library. And then walking towards the gym and hearing the crowd, the ball, the sneakers, the smells, the noise, then the dimly lit gym. They finally got new rims. I mean, we used to have rims in here that were so old that they were the paint was chipped, worn off because of the use. But yeah, it's just the same energy, and to see similar faces and the people that I look into the stands and don't see, like my parents who passed, Sister John Rose, Sister Johanna, my Spanish teacher. It was a community, and it still is a community, and that's why Holy Trinity is a special place.
I have to ask you, as an East Meadow native, basically growing up down the block, you always talked about playing locally on the park.
Right.
And playing pickup, and basically you hated losing because that meant you couldn't play anymore.
That's right.
So what memories do you have of that? And, you know, it feels like there are so many players nowadays that also have that same mentality.
Well, I think growing up in the park in East Meadow, where you had people like Bob McKillop, Paul Leibler, Kevin Joyce, I mean, very good college players, some NBA players, some ABA players. The whole, and I'm going to write a book called The Park. The lessons you learn in the park about meritocracy. Doesn't matter what color your skin is. If you win, you play. If you lose, you sat. And when you chose teams, if you could help the team win, the captain would choose you. If you couldn't, you didn't make the first 10. So then you had a choice. Do I quit? Do I just kind of go with the flow? Or do I try to get better? And I think that's the essence of success and should be in our country. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic we could talk about. The lessons you learn in basketball, the lessons you learn in sport are translatable to careers after athletics. And I think that people that do play sports have a leg up because they know what it is like to compete. They know what it's like to set goals. They know what it's like to take instruction. And they know what it's like to deal with failure because you fail a lot. And so you know how to, which is a book I wrote called Rebound from failure. And as an athlete, you do that all the time. Because whether you like it or not, adversity's coming. And it's all how you deal with it.
You know, you were talking about, like you said, rebounding and getting better. Learning from that, what message do you have to these current athletes nowadays? Because you're seeing NIL, it seems like social media where a lot of kids are focusing their energy on, and you didn't have that back in the day. And, they've got different obstacles to rebound, but I'd imagine the principles are still the same.
Well, to me, I call it the organizational triangle. Every organization's made up of three things: talent, systems, and culture. So, for example, basketball, the way we played at North Carolina or Trinity, you had good talent. We had a system, how you played, the style you played, were you up-tempo, did you press? Culture. Culture is king. So no matter what your system or what your talent, if you don't have a good culture, you're not going to be successful. And so the thing that's hard is with NIL and transfer portal, when you try to coach a player and hold them accountable, if they don't like it, they can leave. So I think the key is you have to develop a good relationship with your players, and that starts with respect.
There's one photo that we're going to pull up here because one thing that you talked about the culture when you took over at North Carolina was that you had this picture of, and I'm sure this is a great memory right here.
Yeah.
So there's Michael Jordan hitting the shot of his Carolina career right there at the free throw line.
I was open. It could have been me, John. It could have been me.
Well, he eventually dished it to Steve Kerr, so eventually he did learn. But tell me about your memories. I mean, not just playing with one of the greatest players, the greatest player of all time, but getting to know him day in and day out, and what you remember about Dean Smith and
Well,
Chapel
there's
Hill.
so much to talk about there, right? I mean, first of all, 63,000 people. That was the first Final Four that was in a domed arena, and I was a starter. And so to be in that game, the intensity of that game, the back and forth of that game, and then we're down. I missed a foul shot with a minute and a half to go. I was in tears. We go to the timeout. They score. We call timeout. 32 seconds to go. Coach Smith was so calm, and he said to everybody as we broke the huddle, "If you're open, knock it down. If you're open, knock it down. If you're open, knock it down." He gave us a confidence, and I think the communication, the trust in your players, the poise of a leader in an intense moment is what came shining through. And then every time I look at that shot, there was 17 seconds to go. Michael didn't have to shoot that ball. He could have pump faked and passed it. Here's a freshman. We had James Worthy, Sam Perkins, Jimmy Black. A freshman takes that shot like he's in the gym all by himself and nothing but bottom.
Well, and then the next picture that we're going to pull up too, that famous, I know it's huge in North Carolina, that Sports Illustrated cover, and we have it in a second. Let's get the Sports Illustrated cover. So that was a rule of Dean Smith, right? No freshmen allowed on the cover. So, of course, we have Matt Doherty. Take it away. What do you remember about that photo shoot?
Well, first of all, I remember standing there for like 4 hours. You know, it was like, that's why we're not smiling. We're like tired. And then I remember being on campus, and about a month later, somebody coming up to me said, "Hey, did you see Sports Illustrated?" And they showed me the cover. And like, where'd you get that? It looked fake. Because my whole life, I grew up looking at the front covers of Sports Illustrated. And to eventually be on it was surreal. Coach Smith never wanted to give a freshman, before he ever played a game, any credit. All the credit went to the upperclassmen. The freshmen had to earn it. And that's part of culture.
So not exactly a bad guy to learn it from. You've been blessed to coach with and against some of the greatest minds out there, Dean Smith, Roy Williams, Bob McKillop. Bob McKillop, though, obviously the special connection here. What memories cultivate? And you remember Bob McKillop before he was Bob McKillop.
Right.
So what was he like?
Bob, I remember Bob from the park. Tough competitor. I remember Bob watching him when I was in the bleachers. The intensity of the games here at Holy Trinity, and then playing for him. I was the first freshman, I'm patting myself on the back, to play varsity. And I remember going through the workouts. They were intense. And then the final cuts he put on the locker room door in the hallway. And I remember going up to the door and seeing my name on the roster. that was really cool. I texted him today. He's being celebrated tomorrow down at Davidson. And I thanked him for pushing me, for the intensity that he had, and that I was so grateful to play for him. And Dick Zeitler, that made my transition to play at North Carolina for Dean Smith, I don't want to say easy, but somewhat seamless.
100%. All right, I know we're going to tip off in a second. I've got to ask you one thing, though. You talked about how you played in the greatest rivalry ever, Duke, North Carolina,
right.
But your most intense rivalry was St. Agnes Holy Trinity. So what do you remember your first memory against St. Agnes?
Well, my first year, we beat St. Agnes 4 games in a row. We had to play a playoff game because we had the same record. We beat them 4 games in a row. And I remember Bob McKillop before the 4th game in the locker room had a little miniature coffin. And he hammered the 4th nail in there as motivation to beat them. That rivalry was as intense as the Duke Carolina rivalry. It's just not as many people outside not as many people watched it. But playing at their place, it was like a quarter of the size of this gym. And in the JV game, seemed to always go into overtime, and there was always a fight in the stands.
I want to ask you to go a little bit further, too. Maybe it's not such a great memory for you, but kind of walking down memory lane, what do you remember about St. Agnes and Mike Palmer?
Well, Mike Palmer, and I said this earlier privately, and I'm in touch with Mike Palmer. Mike Palmer was one of the best players ever to play on Long Island. Played at St. Agnes. They beat Trinity when Malcolm Caesar was a junior. Mike Palmer at Hofstra. I'm at the game with my dad. Mike Palmer's cutting down the nets. We're walking off the court. I reach into my pocket. I had some extra Tootsie Rolls. I grabbed the Tootsie Roll and fired it at Mike Palmer as he was cutting down the nets. I missed him. And one of their dads grabbed me by the arm and said, "Hey, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah." And okay. 2 years later, we're cutting down the nets at Hofstra after beating Agnes. My senior year, we beat Agnes. I'm cutting down the nets. I wonder if there was a kid walking off the court throwing Tootsie Rolls at me. But that's how intense that rivalry was. And Mike Palmer and I laugh about that today.
I don't know if there's a kid that did throw one to you, but I will give you a Tootsie Roll.
Right. John, my
because I feel bad of a young adult losing his candy. That's Matt Doherty. He's the man of the hour. Congratulations. It was a pleasure. Enjoy
You're
it.
You're good, John. You're good. You're good.
We'll be back with lineups and tip-offs when we come back.
Thank you.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
What a great ceremony. It was amazing talking to Matt Doherty. But there's still a game to be played tonight, and the Holy Trinity Titans take on the St. Mary's Gales on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Well, let's start with the home team. Holy Trinity comes into this game off a loss to St. Anthony's on the road Tuesday night. A 63-52 final as Caleb Orlorian led the way for the Friars with 23 points in the win. Holy Trinity was led by Matt DeFalco. The senior poured in 13 points. With that loss, the Titans' record falls to 10-7, 6-3 in conference play. As we mentioned to Falco, he's one of the impact players tonight for Holy Trinity, as it'll be Matt DeFalco along with Corey Somerville, who's been a potent 1-2 punch for Holy Trinity this season. And there you see, those are the impact players for St. Mary's. There we go. We'll get to them in a second, but we've got the national anthem coming up as well, so we'll step aside momentarily and give you the starting lineups when we come back.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island. Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island. Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island. Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island. Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
We welcome you back to Holy Trinity. Here's the starting lineup for the Road Dogs, the St. Mary's Gales, who come in at 5-12, 1-7 in Catholic League play. As it'll be Kyle Joe along with Jagger Bascom, Sam Murad, and Aiden DeRusso flanking Aaron Durant. This is a Gales team that is very potent, and they'll be led by Morant and Bascom. Bascom coming into this game, he's a junior, averaging 14.6 points a game. He's coming off a 17-point performance against Kellenberg Tuesday night, and Sam Murad down on the block. He should be a fun player to watch for the Gales. Holy Trinity coming onto the court. St. Mary's taking a little extra time. It's an electric atmosphere, a bit of a homecoming, as Matt Doherty and his number enshrined and retired here. As we'll get set to go, Holy Trinity in their home whites with the green numerals, with the silver piping, and St. Mary's in the road midnight blues with the Carolina blue numerals. And away we go as Holy Trinity wins the opening tip, coming off of a 9-point loss to St. Anthony's. This is a Holy Trinity team that is looking to rebound in the standings and pick up a win against St. Mary's. To the cup, up and under, Aiden Colonna The junior is fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. As Murad picks up his first. Aiden Colonna, only a junior. He's a bit of an undersized big, says his head coach, John Confrey. A player who can finish around the rim, make good decisions, but where his bread and butter is being made is down low defensively. Second free throw is good. And the Titans take a 2-0 lead early on. And this is a St. Mary's team that wants to press, but they turn it over. Moran has his pocket pick. In second gear, Malachi Cooper, the drop-off. This is Somerville, dishes it back off. 3-ball on the way is short. And here come the Gales. Moran to Kyle Joe, one of the best shooters in the league. Durant spots up and connects. Aaron Durant, only a junior, averaging 7.5 points a game, gives the Gales a 3-2 lead early on in the first. Cooper, Colonna. Here's Matt Brown. Brown to the cup, denied. Good block, DeRusso. Galloping into the front court. This is Jagger Bascom, who gets the bucket. And Holy Trinity, right back the other way, is whacked on the way up. That's Cooper again. Cooper, one of the best ball handlers, and what a finish. The moves like Jagger for Bascom. Someone who can flash to the basket. One of the top scorers in the league as well, averaging 14.6 points a game. And here's Cooper, getting the start at the one guard position today. Meanwhile, that foul was on Sam Murad. That's his second, and he'll have to sit. And tough to pick up your first two fouls just a minute and a half into the contest. Second free throw is good, and St. Mary's lead dwindles down to 1. Kyle Joe to Russo. Over to the cutting Bascom. Fall away jumper doesn't fall. One and done goes St. Mary's. Up ahead. And the two-handed jam is Somerville. He's got some bounce, averaging just under 14 points a game. And Holy Trinity goes up 1. Kyle Joe. That's his range. Step back three. Short. And long rebound goes right into the hands of Somerville, who looks to push the paint. Holy Trinity not afraid to push the agenda. DeFalco, the senior, knocks in the triple. And the Titans are flying. Ira Hunt calls a timeout as he'll talk it over with his team. It'll be a quick 30-second timeout, but let's take another look. Get on up. Corey Somerville with the jam. And there you see Ira Hunt, the South Shore graduate. Played in school in the 80s, just a few years younger than Doherty. Can't be too happy with his team right now. Obviously losing one of his star players to foul trouble. And giving up a dunk and a three the other end. 5 unanswered points by the Titans, with just under 6 minutes to play in the first. Whipped up ahead. Here's Bascom. Bascom walled off by DeFalco. Over to Joe. Cuts in the lane. Has his pocket picked. This is Somerville and a touch foul. And this should be Kyle Joe's first. And the team's third. Somerville. Brown. Denied. Good block from behind. There's Clarence Darby. Or check that, Elijah McMillan. My apologies. As DeFalco picks up his first. And Aaron Durant at the free throw line has 4 of the 6 points for Holy Trinity. As Justin Gibbs, the senior, checks in. Good energy guy off the bench. Second free throw for Durant. Off the mark. And here's DeFalco, the lone returner from last year's championship team. Ball squirts free. They'll stay with the Titans. 28 to shoot. Somerville whips it over to Falco. Nice feed underneath. Colonna couldn't finish. And pushing the agenda, it's Gibbs. Taking on 2 defenders. Can't finish with the offhand. And Brown skips it up ahead. Nice find underneath. The reverse layup doesn't fall. Malachi Cooper had a good look. Couldn't sink the reverse runner. Back the other way. Bascom will head back to the line. That should be the second on DeFalco. And it is. So half of our impact players already in foul trouble. As Zion Woodall-Trippett checks in. A two-sport athlete. And here's Bascom. Bascom 1v1 with Trippett. McMillan, only a junior, gets it to the hot hand Durant. Gibbs. Carved off. 10 to shoot. Bascom puts it on the deck, throws it up. Wild shot, no good. Tipped out by DeRusso, and the Titans take over. Driving to the cup, Somerville swirls it in. Second bucket for Somerville. Both finishing at the cup. And the Titans go up 5. Bascom, coast to coast, no sir. Back out, Gibbs, the floater is true. St. Mary's needed a bucket in the worst way as Holy Trinity can light the lamp. And that was one of the keys for Ira Hunt. Is there's going to be stretches where Holy Trinity will go cold. That's where we have to capitalize, says the fourth-year head coach. But how about Somerville? He is heating up. 6 points in the first quarter for Somerville. Durant, the floater. Yes, sir. Off a friendly bounce. Well, we heard Doherty talk about how chipped the old rims were and how it's changed over the years and how there has been so many changes, but so many things that have stood the same over the last 42 years. And I'm sure for the players' sake, the rims being a little rougher, certainly a lot more accommodating to today's player. Brown, offhand layup, doesn't fall, collects his own miss. Underneath the tie-up. And a travel called against Brown as the Titans give it away. Take it away. Outlet up ahead. Somerville rejected. Aaron Durant with the big-time swat. What a defensive play by Durant, who his head coach says has grown 4 inches over the school year. Started the year at 5'7", now 5'11". Curious if that shoe size has gone up as well. Might affect him on some long-range jumpers. Colonna gets the offensive rebound. Brown restarts, flips it to the corner. It's a 3, Cooper. Not that time. Woodall, offensive rebound. Somerville attacks, can't finish. Another offensive board. Brown a 3, off the heel. And finally, Durant comes away unscathed and fires the outlet pass up ahead to the cup. And that falls for Elijah McMillan. And a timeout taken by Holy Trinity. And we'll step aside as well. 13-12 the score. Holy Trinity leading St. Mary's on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Holy Trinity, St. Mary's coming back, but it's been their defensive effort that has kept them in this contest, most notably Aaron Durant rejecting Corey Somerville, who's been so efficient around the rack. Colonna struggled down low, rips it away, gets swarmed, bodies go to the deck, and it's taken away by the Gales. Good effort by Justin Gibbs on the dive. And here's Bascom. Bascom, coast to coast, and that's swatted away. Somerville, and then a whistle. As Justin Gibbs picks up his first. With $1:32 left in the opening quarter. Cooper, Somerville, Brown, Woodall, and Colonna on the floor for the Titans. Matt DeFalco, the senior leader, picking up 2 quick fouls, as well as Sam Murad, the senior leader. And there's another rejection. That's Aiden DeRusso. Jams it away. Gibbs the fall away. Yes, sir. And Holy Trinity goes back in front. Good step back jumper by Gibbs. Had a season high 8 points against Kellenberg Tuesday night. Coast to coast, Somerville, and one. Corey Somerville huffing and puffing and trying to go for 3 the old-fashioned way. As Holy Trinity breaks the press and scooting past DeRusso for the end one. For DeRusso, that's his first. The senior transfer from High School of Teaching in Queens. Tapped out, Bascom thrown back up. Doesn't fall for Brown. Bascom behind the back, loses the handle. And a 10-second differential between game and shot clock. Skip to the wing, picked apart. Bascom, it's a foot race to the cup. Bascom is fouled. As Corey Somerville picks up his first. And look at Bascom. You have to love the craftiness, going to the rim, seeking contact, and being rewarded. And a chance to put St. Mary's back in front with about a half a minute to play in the first period. Christian Scott, the sophomore, checks in for St. Mary's. And flushes the second free throw. Shot clock turned off, and Holy Trinity can play for the final shot. Brown doubled in front of the St. Mary's bench, almost taken away. We'll stay with Holy Trinity. Malachi Cooper. Cooper eyeing the time, getting the screen on Joe, penetrates, pulls up, Can't hit it. Kelowna denied, and a foul. That foul will go to McMillan, his first, and the team's sixth. And here's Aiden Kelowna, drilling the first one. Kelowna averaging just under 10 points a game, a junior. Someone who's been really working at the free throw line recently and reaps the rewards. St. Mary's trying to beat the buzzer. Here's Joe at the horn. It falls. Kyle Joe with authority gets the bucket and ties this one up at 17 going into the second. Let's take another look. Joan, eyeing the clock the entire time, beats his man, swirls it in, count it, and we're right back where we started. 17 all as we get ready for the start of the second quarter on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Back here for the start of the second quarter. St. Mary's and Holy Trinity on Matt Doherty night. Tied up at 17. Kyle Joe beating the buzzer. Gets the bucket to fall. As both teams playing without one of their starters due to early foul trouble. Sam Murat picked up his second foul. Just a minute and a half into the contest. As we'll see Justin Brown for the first time getting the assignment on Christian Scott. Brown wearing number 22 in white and green. Joe, as Murad back on the floor to start the second. Fall away jumper by McMillan, way off to the right. Matt Brown grabs the board. Cooper from the wing, shaded off, and reset around the arc. Cooper. Somerville lets it fly, rattles out. And McMillan gets the rebound. Elijah McMillan, the younger brother of Malachi McMillan, who used to play for the Gales. Bascom inside the arc, not that time. Brown to the corner. Here's Matt Brown driving baseline, walled off. Matt White, Justin Brown, the southpaw three. Not that time. Joe, he'll take on Brown. To the 10, he's whacked and fouled. You have to love the aggressiveness of Kyle Joe. The scouting report on Joe is that he could shoot the lights out, and by him attacking the rim so early on, keeping the defense honest, and heading to the free throw line to shoot two. Woodall picks up his first. And Joe off the mark on the first one. Joe knocked down a pair of threes in the win over Kellenberg. Finished with 6 points against the Firebirds. And comes up empty at the free throw line. Somerville drives. Not that time. Woodall can't finish. Woodall, the backup quarterback on the CHSFL AA champion Holy Trinity Titans, right behind Rocco Rainone. There's a turnover. As Aaron Durant, who knocked down a 3 in the first quarter, checks back in. Meanwhile, Matt DeFalco comes on for Matt White. Almost loses it. Somerville accelerates. Jelly roll. Yes, sir. So shifty and so crafty. Here's Durant to Bascom. Hooks a pass back over. Durant launches. Can't connect. And DeFalco with the board. And brushes up ahead. Justin Brown left open in the corner. Drills the 3. Justin Brown can step out and shoot the 3, and he did so on that sequence. Only a sophomore, physically undersized, but has the green light. Woodall clears. Somerville. Here's Brown. Fires back to DeFalco. Travels. Jagger Bascom, only 2 points in the first half. Someone who's averaging just under 15 points a game. The Holy Trinity scout was try to limit Bascom, and they've certainly done so. And a quick timeout taken by Ira Hunt. It'll be a full timeout as he talks it over with his team. So second meeting of the season for these two. And, of course, their last meeting taking place on January 13th. A 75-53 win in Manhasset. Corey Somerville leading the way with 23 points. DeFalco with 22. How about that? 45 of the 75 coming from Somerville and DeFalco. Meanwhile, Elijah McMillan, who has a couple of buckets, had 18 points. But certainly not enough for a full-fledged Holy Trinity attack. And how does that shake up the standings? Well, Chaminade still the top team, and of course we'll see them next Tuesday, Valentine's evening in Mineola. Still the leader as they'll welcome these Holy Trinity Titans on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Under 5 minutes to play in the second. Bascom gets hooked by Brown. And Justin Brown, the sophomore, picks up his first. And the team's 5th of the half. Durant lets it fly. Flush. If you give him space, he'll knock it down. St. Mary's wants to get him into a groove. It's only a 2-point game. And here is number 2, Cooper. Reverses course. Somerville, top of the key. Heavy defense from Durant. You see a 2-3 zone from the Gales. That might also be to protect Murat, who's got 2 fouls. And he picks the pass away. Somerville telegraphing the pass to Woodall. And here's Bascom. Behind the back, coast to coast, loses it. And Holy Trinity takes over. Bascom goes to the bench as Justin Gibbs, who was efficient and provided an energy in the first quarter, comes back on. Gibbs is a senior, averaging 5.1 points a game. And here's Cooper. Cooper steps into a 3. Off the heel. Offensive rebound to Falco. The floater. No, sir. It's a hot potato, and it gets taken away by the Titans. And Cooper looks to reset. Gives it up. Gibbs, coast to coast. No, sir. Too strong on the layup. And now Now floated over. Brown thought about it. Here's that floater from the southpaw. Too strong. Durant clears. Joe. Spiked away. Big time rejection. Corey Somerville. Hasn't found a shot in the second quarter, but the defensive intensity is there. And there's Somerville again with his hand on it. Underneath Murad, reverse layup. That might have been tipped by Woodall. Joe thought about it. Now fires underneath. Moran, the skyhook. Not that time. And it's just not falling for St. Mary's. DeFalco pass deflected and will stay with the Titans. 28 to shoot. As Matthew White checks back in for Somerville. And Somerville getting high fives all around, as he should, bringing it on the defensive end. Under 3 to play in the first half. Cooper, hoist, can't connect. And Arusso gets the board. Murad, floater, yes sir. Sam Murad averaging 8.3 points a game. He's the catalyst, says his head coach, Ira Hunt. And in his opinion, the MVP of the team thus far. Good effort by Gibbs, couldn't save it, and yes, he does. And check that, a better vantage point, and the call's reversed. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to stay on this end. Here's DeFalco. Cooper thought about it. Flips it underneath, take it away. Murad. Zarusso. It's not a ball handler, has to hand it off. All tied at 22. Murad, the spinorama. Not that time. Outlet, up ahead. Brown can't track it down. Almost takes down the whole operation. And under 2 minutes to play. And the one area of concern for Hunt has been just the chemistry of the crew. And he's not saying that they're a bad bunch of players and malcontents. Far from it. It's just been the basketball chemistry. But a good connection there as Murad finishes. Check that Bascom. And he said that it's been improving the last 2 games. It came out to play against Kellenberg. But it needs to be a more concerted effort. Brown, that's a deep 3. Shot it from Manhasset and caught some traffic. Under a minute to play, Bascom will take his time. Shaded by Brown. McMillan back to Murad off the window. Not that time. The tap in. It's Aiden DeRusso. DeRusso, like we mentioned, the transfer out of Queens High School for teaching. One of the top PSAL programs over the last half decade. 10-second differential between game and shot clock. Cooper will take his time. A little bit of a 4 corners by the Titans, but now DeFalco attacks. No, sir. Woodall puts it on the deck, and the shot clock turned off. Holy Trinity trying to stop this 9-0 run. Going to the half with a bucket. DeFalco lets it fly. That's short. Taps back out. Bascom, can he beat the buzzer? No, but a foul before halftime. And Bascom with a chance to expand this St. Mary's lead going into the locker room. As Justin Brown picks up his second. And the three officials conferring. But either way, time expired, or if they're going to put time back. Now, there's no official replay monitor. And it's really just at their discretion and a judgment call as to how much time is put back on. So they put on 0.6 seconds. And here's Bascom. And Jagger hits the first one. A natural shooting guard who gets the point guard responsibilities on a Friday night in Hicksville. Off the mark, and that does it. St. Mary's ends the first half on a 10-0 run and takes a 5-point lead going into the locker room, forcing the home team on a legendary night to have to come back into this game. Halftime here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll step aside as well. This game has been presented by Catholic Health. It's the game of the week.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Halftime here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. It is Matt Doherty night here at Holy Trinity, and we are joined by the athletic director, Chris Hardart, the snazziest dressed man in the gym. And Chris, what's this whole day, week leading up to this game been like?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a pleasure to get this all together. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes things that we did, and but Matt has been a great, obviously the greatest basketball titan ever, and it was well-deserved, and it was a pleasure for us to do it.
Now, obviously you didn't play with him, but just hearing some of the alums and the stories that they've had of him, what did you learn a little bit about him before meeting him today, and then how did those stories reflect on meeting the man himself?
Yeah, so I in my first year, way back in 1999 when I got here, obviously you knew that Matt Doherty was an alum, and all the stories from all the older coaches and all the older teachers in the school, and about how what you see here in the gym tonight, it was every night that he played. It was such a golden era of Holy Trinity basketball, and I think so.
What does it say about just the community? He's an East Meadow guy. You've got students and student athletes that attend from all parts of Long Island, but just Long Island being represented, not just obviously here tonight, but nationally.
Well, you know what? The Catholic schools on Long Island are a little unique, right? Because here on Long Island, all the schools are done by district, right? So Wantor is Wantor and Seaford is Seaford. Here we have kids from all over the place. We're a giant melting pot. In fact, we're getting kids from Queens now that are taking a train out here, and so it's such a different experience for these kids on Long Island, and that's one of the challenges we have to when we're trying to get kids, sell kids on Catholic education. One of the things that they do in public schools is that they leave their friends, because all their friends they grow up in Wantor or whatever town it is, or Hicksville or whatever. But when they come here, they're with a whole bunch of different kids from all over Long Island. And I think to me, my own two sons came here, and it was a great experience for them, and I think that was part of what made it a great experience.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It really seems like there's a sense of community too, right? And high school being the formative years, and like you mentioned, the Catholic education. You've been around student athletes for a while now. When they get the opportunity to speak to a Matt Doherty or just any prominent alum that has gone professional in not just sports, but maybe some areas that they want to get into. You know, there's student athletes that want to be teachers, firefighters, professors, different types of academia. How much does having a Holy Trinity alum hold weight and tell these students, hey, if he or she did it, I can do so as well?
Absolutely. We sell that, you know, and it's so great to hear Matt today, not only what his speech that he gave here on the court, but we had a dinner for Matt prior with his family and his friends and his old teammates, and you know, he couldn't even express himself. He was breaking down, really, and to see that, you're talking, you know, 40 years later, right? And literally was breaking down, talking to his family and friends and us and the people that were there from Holy Trinity about the experience he had here, and that's what we try to sell incoming students. The students are in the school. We try to make sure they understand what it means to be a Holy Trinity Titan and a responsibility you have when you put that uniform on and you wear the colors of the green and white. There's a responsibility, and you're holding up a responsibility from all these people that have gone before you. And I think you can hear Matt today talking about his former teachers and his former players, I mean, guys he played with. And one of the greatest stories, right, was about he played again in North Carolina against Duke, and they said, "Hey, you're gonna get ready for that." Well, I played Holy Trinity against St. Agnes. Like that was it for him, you know. Same thing when we played St. Mary's or Chaminade, anybody in our league, you know. It's a big night, and it's so great for our kids to experience something like this tonight with a packed house and the electricity in the crowd. It's great. You know?
All right, so I'll end it on this. You said something off the air that was very positive for your team. Any prediction for the second half?
Win. That's it. I don't care if it's by 1 point or 10 points. We need to get a W. So let's go, fellas. Get it going.
There you go. From the head honcho's mouth, that's Chris Hardart. We'll step aside. Third quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Thank you.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net.
Halftime here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. This is the Catholic Health Game of the Week featuring the St. Mary's Gales, who lead the Holy Trinity Titans 27-22 on Matt Doherty night, the first basketball player to have his number retired. Well, how is his alma mater doing? There you see in fourth place in the NYCHSAA standings. That loss to St. Anthony's puts them in fourth place, but they'll have an opportunity to move up in the standings. They'll play Chaminade next on the Varsity Media Sports Network on February 14th, and we got a packed week up ahead of us as St. Francis Prep takes on Cardinal Hayes. Dylan Butler and myself will be on the call on the Grand Concourse. That tipping off at 1 p.m. and a special halftime feature where we interview Elijah Moore and Ian Jackson. You don't want to miss that one. That should be a fun one. They talk about their decisions and going forward. Of course, Holy Trinity takes on Chaminade Valentine's evening, 6 p.m. Come have dinner with us, and no more romantic night than Valentine's evening. Holy Trinity and Chaminade. And then St. John the Baptist takes on St. Anthony's next Friday night, 7:30 p.m. And for all you out there, join our team. Let Varsity Media help promote your business with affordable rates, customizable packages to fit any budget, and we'll help you grow your brand through our SPORTSCAST. Give us a call at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Contact us today to advertise. We'll step aside when we come back. Third quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules sports advocacy, It teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
We begin the start of the third quarter with the St. Mary's Gales leading the Holy Trinity Titans 27-22. Hello again, everybody. I'm John Perez. Corey Somerville whips it to the corner to Malachi Cooper. And here's Matt DeFalco over towards Matt White. DeFalco, offhanded runner, doesn't fall. St. Mary's ended the second quarter on a 10-0 run and are looking to expand upon this lead. This is a St. Mary's team that only has one league win on the season. Whipped over, Murat spots up from inside the arc, no good. Offensive rebound and a fresh possession. Bascom attacks the rim and is fouled on the way up. Aiden Colonna picks up his first, and the team's first of the half. As Bascom off the front rim. Didn't see a lot of discipline out of both teams in the first half. Trying to tidy that up, and an elongated halftime. Certainly giving both of these teams a lot to think about. Here's DeFalco, over to Cooper, drives baseline, rejected. Bascom. That's the fourth block shot for St. Mary's in this contest, and 26 to shoot for the Titans. Underneath, Colonna swarmed. DeRusso had his hands all over it, and will stay with the Titans, 23 to shoot. Somerville. Back underneath. Whipped over, Cooper. Somerville lets it fly. Can't dial it in. As Aaron Durant grabs the carom. Well, you mentioned the growth spurt for Durant. Knocked down a couple of threes in the first quarter. Get some separation. Pull up, pure. Aaron Durant with his first points of the second half. 12 unanswered by the Gales. And a foul before the bucket as Justin Gibbs picks up his second. First team foul of the half for the Gales. Cooper on the block. Colonna swarmed, coughs it up. Picking up the loose change. It's Durant. Joe forcing the agenda. Murat, the step back short. Good defense by Colonna as he gets the rebound afterwards. DeFalco to Cooper on the block as Matt White slows it down. Brown. Up top, Somerville from 3. Not that time. And boy, is Holy Trinity ice cold. Cooper takes it away, though, and his pass deflected by Durant. White picks it up. Cooper left alone for 3. Not that time. Colonna. What a rebound as he went amongst the trees. Somerville gets hammered. As that foul will go to DeRusso, his second foul. First of the second half. Somerville, a player that his head coach says sometimes you have to turn the volume down with him. A player that could get amped up a little too much and could be a detriment, just has to work on reining it in. Bascom is stripped, then doubled. And here's Durant, 15 to shoot. Packed gymnasium from a local Catholic League rivalry. Joe, the skip pass, Durant. Not that time. Bascom, he'll have a try at it, but a foul on the floor. As that'll go to Colonna, his second. Durant. Jumper doesn't fall that time for McMillan. White, DeFalco. Holy Trinity needs this. Yes, sir. Matty DeFalco drains the 3. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession game. Holy Trinity within 3. Midway through the third. Bascom, the fall away. No, sir. One and done goes St. Mary's. Outlet up ahead. DeFalco. Good defense by Bascom. Floater, Durant. Not that time. As White skips it up ahead to Cooper. Somerville, the fall away over Joe. Clanks off the heel. Both of these teams just having difficulty scoring the basketball. Durant loses it. Somerville goes to the deck. Will stay with St. Mary's, 16 to shoot. And the substitution for St. Mary's is Sam Murad. Comes on for Bascom. Or comes on for DeRusso, excuse me. Joe to Bascom, the runner. Deflected. Good save attempt, flipped up ahead. Here's Somerville, who was held but gets the basket anyway. And it's a one-point game. Corey Somerville leading his team back. And a missed bunny underneath by McMillan. Murad, second chance. Somerville hooks a pass down low. Matt White, no. He'll head to the free throw line. As Kyle Joe picks up his second. Matt White to shoot 2. One of the energy guys for the Titans ties it up. 7 straight points for the Titans. And this free throw will put them over the edge. White, the junior, averaging 7.5 points a game, drills the second, and Holy Trinity back in front. That's a travel. Murad shuffled his feet. Falco swings it over, receives it back from Cooper. Reverse layup, he's got it. Matt DeFalco coming alive in the third quarter. Underneath, Bascom is held, and Kelowna picks up the foul. And let's take another look. Murad charging hard. Drops it off underneath, and Bascom just gets tied up with Kelowna. Wrong place at the wrong time. And here's Bascom again. So for Kelowna, that's his third. And Bascom nets the first free throw. Not that time, ball skips out of bounds. And the Titans take over with 1:56 to play in the third. Not sure if it's circulated around these parts, but of course the biggest story in high school basketball over the last few weeks has been that 4-2 final as DeFalco misses on the jumper. And I'm not saying that this game is anywhere near that, but just in terms of the missed shots, can you imagine watching players just stand around in a 4-2 win? As the jumper falls, and that's Christian Scott. Elijah McMillan. And we're tied up at 32. Somerville, reverse layup, no. Woodall, the tap out. Here's White, bounces it over. Somerville with a minute to play. The floater is pure. And he puts his team up 2. As Joe reverses course to Durant. Joe, the dump off. Durant. Corner 3, fall away, stopped. Gibbs had his shot deflected. And McMillan couldn't track it down. Holy Trinity takes over with 33.3 seconds on the timer. As they'll turn the shot clock off, and Holy Trinity can play for the final shot, leading by 2 at the end of the third. Here's Cooper. Bust inside, the reverse layup, no, but a foul. Not exactly sure that Conifrey wanted his team to go so early. But this is Malachi Cooper averaging 12.5 points a game. Connects on the first one. One more upcoming for Cooper. And the junior gives his team a 2-possession lead. Here's Bascom. Durant doubled, throws it away towards the Trinity bench. And it'll be Titans ball. There was no deflection. And Holy Trinity a chance to expand their lead going into the fourth. Here's Somerville. Gets a screen from Woodall, draped by Durant. Reverses course. DeFalco at the horn. Not that time. But Holy Trinity outscores St. Mary's 14-10 going into the fourth quarter. As we get ready for the fourth quarter on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST.
Under, and what a look.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Start of the fourth quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network with the Holy Trinity Titans leading the St. Mary's Gales 36-32. And parents, student athletes, are you looking for college recruiting videos? Well, this is what we offer. Custom editing effects to help your players stand out. Choice of music and a link for college coaches. Well, why do you want to sign up? Well, it saves you money in college tuition by getting that scholarship and helps land a spot on the team. Stand out from the competition. Mention this ad and get 10% off. Contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Tell him John Perez sent you. Kyle Joe will waltz into the front court with his team trailing by 4. And it's been a raucous crowd all evening. They're looking for a reason to stand. And had plenty of reasons to in that third quarter. Aiden DeRusso fires a shot, no good. And here's White. Slow it to the corner, and Cooper. Well, the lowest amount of points that Holy Trinity has scored in a win has been 50. As Matt DeFalco gets the bucket to go. That was a 50-41 win at Kellenberg on January 5th. That might be enough to win it today. Joe, good ball fake, a 3. Can't splash it in. McMillan, the offensive rebound, throws it up, no good. DeRusso hits the bunny. DeFalco from the wing. And Cooper. And a touch foul. That'll go against McMillan. That's Elijah's second. And the team's 5th of the half. Somerville to DeFalco. Drops it off. Woodall. Reverses the arc. Somerville loses it. Not sure if McMillan got a hand on it as Bascom is fouled by White. And Jagger will head to the line. here's Bascom. We'll take another look. And Bascom off on the first free throw. And one more upcoming. As the Holy Trinity defense doing a good job of disrupting Bascom this evening. Here's Cooper. DeFalco shoves it over, drives baseline. White, no. Nearly goes down, but a foul. As Bascom picks up his first. And back to the line is White. Somebody who's getting more comfortable attacking the rim over the last few weeks. And we mentioned how much of a spark he brings defensively. Somerville off the miss, no. And here's Bascom. Flips it up ahead to Joe. Slows it down, stopping on a dime. DeRusso like a freight train with too short on the runner. Woodall saves the possession for Holy Trinity. Cooper a three. Doesn't get the roll as it hits off the stanchion above the basket. Here's Bascom attacking from the wing. Not that time. And now it's Cooper. Ball ping-pongs around. It'll stay with Holy Trinity. 27 to shoot. White attacks. Can't finish. A jump ball. It'll stay on that end. Under 5 to play in the fourth. In a playing style that, well, a scoring style that has resembled that of the 90s. But a north and south playing style that has been pushing the paint. It's just been one of those nights. DeFalco, nice backdoor cut. And Matty D gets the bucket as he goes up 6. Joe thought about it. Nice find underneath. Bascom gets 2 back. It's a 4-point game. Cooper is swarmed. Somerville and Durant. DeFalco dumps underneath. Woodall back out to Somerville. Ball pins on the floor and a travel. As Sam Gibbs returns for Kyle Joe. Here's Murad taking on 3 defenders. And Murad goes 0 for 2 down low. Somerville, nice feed underneath. Woodall denied. Here's Gibbs. 1v1 with DeFalco, throws it up. And now it's a 3-on-1. Cooper, no look pass. Somerville can't finish. Woodall. And a whistle. A foul against St. Mary's. As that'll be the 4th on Murad. As Woodall nets the first one. And goes 1 for 2. Jagger Bascom with his team down 5. Joe to the corner. Bascom driving inside over White, can't finish. And another empty possession for St. Mary's. DeFalco denied. Joe attacks, nice feed underneath. And that falls for Elijah McMillan. And just like that, it's a 3-point game. Holy Trinity with possession and could afford to waste some time here and slow it down and get the shot that they want. Cooper to DeFalco, reverses up top. 10 to shoot. Cooper and Joe. Here's Cooper getting some space. Scoop layup, no. Ball ping-pongs around. And with a 3, St. Mary's can tie it. Here's Durant. Driving inside, can't get it to go. Ball rolls out of bounds. Last touch by St. Mary's. And Holy Trinity takes over. DeFalco leaving the window open. Here's Durant for the tie. Off the heel. Bascom has his pocket pick. The outlet up ahead. White. No, but a foul. As that foul goes to Kyle Joe and Matthew White to shoot 2. Make this a 2-possession game, and the way that the offense is played on both sides, a 2-possession game might be enough to end it. Holy Trinity goes up 5. With just over a minute to play. The spin move, denied. Somerville, here's DeFalco with momentum to the cup, doesn't fall for Cooper. Under a minute to play. Durant, yes sir. That makes it a 3-point game. Timeout called by St. Mary's. So what a shot by Durant on the other end. 53.2 seconds to go. And a 3-point lead for Holy Trinity. Have no more fouls to give. And they can afford to play it out. You've got 18 seconds between game and shot clock, and if you get a defensive stop, then a chance to tie it with a 3, or you can get into the fouling situation as we go inside the Holy Trinity huddle. Trying to do my best lip reading, but I would just be doing all of you a disservice. Conifrey telling his team that they've got 14 fouls. And just who do you want to foul? .2 seconds to play. And we see a press from St. Mary's. Cooper bounces it over to White. DeFalco will pull it back out. Conifrey, the head coach, telling his team to hold on to it and slow it down. 14 to shoot. DeFalco up top to Somerville. Somerville off the screen and a foul. Kyle Joe will send the Titans to the line. And the student section. It's been lively all night on a Friday night. Somerville misses the front end. Shot clock turned off. St. Mary's can tie it with a 3. Thrown up ahead, bounced away. Durant couldn't keep it in, and Holy Trinity takes over. And now St. Mary's has to foul. As it's thrown into the backcourt, Cooper waiting for it. Loses it. Joe comes up with it. And then a foul. As that foul will go to Cooper. And St. Mary's taking over. Let's take another look. Good defense by Durant on Cooper. And then watch Kyle Joe, number 20, top of your screen, come in. Get the deflection, fall on top of it. Ten seconds to play. Here's Joe. And a timeout taken by Ira Hunt with 6 seconds left to talk it over, and it'll be a full timeout. So St. Mary's will talk it over, and we've got a lot cooking up on the Varsity Media Sports Network, especially over the next couple of days. We'll see Holy Trinity again, but before that, St. Francis Prep at Cardinal Hayes, and then the Titans take on the Flyers on Tuesday night in Mineola, and St. John the Baptist against St. Anthony's on February 17th. Well, we mentioned earlier for Holy Trinity, the least amount of points in a win was 50 in their win over Kellenberg on January 5th. Should they hold on, this will be the lowest amount of points that the Titans have scored this year in a victory. St. Mary's came into this game with only one league win, looking for the game-tying 3 and forcing overtime. Murad to inbound. 6 seconds to go. Thrown in. Here's Joe. Bascom, a 3 for the tie. No. Ball ping-pongs around, and Holy Trinity survives. The defense stands up. And on Matt Doherty Day, the Titans go out victorious. Holy Trinity bended but did not break as they pick up their 11th win of the year on a 44-41 final. And the defense and Corey Somerville coming up large in the final seconds. So Corey Somerville with the defensive stop. And with that, we'll take a break and we'll talk to our player of the game when we come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see a region that lives, feels, and pulses with energy. But before it all, we see you, because it's your lives that breathe life into this island. At Catholic Health, we're able to provide the highest quality, most innovative care for your body, because our culture cherishes your humanity. Long live Long Island.
Back here with our player of the game after the Titans knock off the Gales, 44-41. Corey Somerville getting it done on both ends of the floors. Corey, take me through that final possession. St. Mary's looking to get it to overtime, and you guys stepped up defensively.
I mean, it was a tough win. We usually come out better on offense. Our captain started out with 2 fouls. It was rough, but we had to get through it, push through. We got some silly mistakes in the beginning, but we cleaned it up at the end, and we got it through.
And, you know, when Matt picks up those 2 fouls, it looked as if you put a lot on your shoulders and put the chip on your shoulder and guided the team. So what was your approach once that second foul was picked up?
I don't know. Something just told me step up and just lock in. I play this game like it's my last game, number 10 on my back, RP to my brother. So every game I just push through because he didn't know when his last one would be.
What does this win say about this Holy Trinity team that it wasn't the prettiest offensive game, but you still come out with a W?
I mean, last year we won CHSSA championship, so we got huge expectations, big shoes to fill. So I feel like this just is a statement game. Even though it wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't the best, we played hard and we thugged it out and we got a win.
And, you know, we see it in the background, too, but that number 30 for Matt Doherty retired tonight. What has it been like as a basketball player to kind of take that in, see somebody that has accomplished so much in the game, but, of course, is a Holy Trinity alum?
I mean, it just feels so good. The fact that I could wear the same jersey that he did, wear the same colors that he did, play on the same court as he did. He's a legend, and I just want to fill into his footsteps and be the next Holy Trinity great.
Well, you're one win closer to doing that. Corey, congratulations on the win. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
That's Corey Somerville as the Titans knock off the Gales 44-41, and that'll do it from Holy Trinity. This has been a presentation of Catholic League boys basketball on the Varsity Media.